Hey and welcome to Vanguard Tactics. I'm Stephen Box and this is Michael Costello, and we're going to be talking all things Chaos Space Marines. So we're going to be giving you our top tips and how to play Chaos Space Marines. If you are just joining Warhammer 40K 10th edition, this will hopefully give you a really good guide into the faction, things to look out for, a little bit of play style. But Michael, I know you're a massive fan of Chaos Space Marines and this is your beautiful army. So what is your first impressions of the index?
Well, Steve, I'm very excited because Chaos Space Marines have been represented as they are the bad guys in the Warhammer 40K universe. They're like the bad Space Marines, okay? Or maybe they've just got a different perspective.
A different perspective is what I'm going with, yeah.
Either way, they really feel like it, this edition, okay? They feel like they are backed by the Dark Gods, okay? Every time they shoot, every time they fight. You're going to see that with these rules, okay? They feel powerful.
Okay.
Right.
Which is awesome, because that's exactly what we want. We want the full force of the 4 Chaos Gods.
Yes.
Okay, and they are Slaanesh, Tzeentch, Khorne, and Nurgle. Mm-hmm. Now, massive thank you to Games Workshop for sending us these previews copies. Without you, Games Workshop, we wouldn't be able to do this content, so massive thank you. And we have been supplied with these indexes to preview for you. So, without any further ado, let's crack on, Michael, with the main army rule for being a Chaos Space Marine. What do you get?
Okay, so you get Dark Pacts.
Dark Pacts.
Dark Pacts. Okay, you're going to make pacts with the Chaos Gods, essentially.
Okay.
What this means is every time one of your units shoots or fights.
Okay.
Okay, so every time they're selected to shoot or fight.
Right.
You can opt to make a Dark Pact.
Okay.
And what you do is you pick for your weapons to gain either lethal hits.
Okay.
So your 6s to hit automatically wound the enemy.
Okay, that's good.
Or you can have sustained hits 1, which means each of your 6s to hit is going to cause an additional hit.
Right, and they're the only 2 packs I can make?
They're the 2 pacts.
So lethal, which is really great when you've got to wound something tough, like a knight or a vehicle or something like that, when your strength is lower than their toughness.
Yeah.
Or if you're up against Horde and you just want loads and loads of shots, then obviously that sustained is coming in pretty nice. Or if your strength is already pretty good, you know you've got a good chance of wounding, go for some sustained, get some extra hits in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like it.
But the Chaos Gods are fickle.
Right.
Each time you've made a pact, after you finish resolving all of your attacks, you have to take a Battleshock test.
Okay.
Okay, so this is based on obviously your leadership, which across the army is mostly 6+. And if you fail it, you take D3 mortal wounds.
Ooh, that's pretty spicy.
It is spicy, yes, but power comes at a price.
Yeah.
And I'll take that. I'll take that cost.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah.
Now, this is really interesting if you were to play against an army that had loads of really powerful leadership modifiers, right? Mm-hmm. And you might all of a sudden think, I don't know if I fancy them Dark Pacts anymore.
Okay, so that's the in-game effects of the army rule. Now, when you're making your army list, there's a rule called the Lost and the Damned.
Right, so what does this mean?
Well, this means that you can take some of those god-specific units, like Khorne Berserkers.
Now we're talking about language.
Yeah, Khorne Berserkers.
Yes.
You can take Rubric Marines and Plague Marines. Needless to say, Noise Marines are already one of the index cards in this book.
Okay, so I'm a noisy boys and I can take Khorne Berserkers together in an army.
Yes, you can. But you replace their faction keyword with Heretic Astartes. So you'd replace World Eaters for Khorne Berserkers with Heretic Astartes, and so on with Thousand Suns, etc.
So does that then mean I would get Dark Pacts for my Khorne Berserkers?
No.
I wouldn't do that.
No, because you'd have to have the Dark Pacts ability written on your data sheet.
Okay, and you'll see that on the right-hand side where it says abilities, you've normally got like core and then faction.
That's right.
But I wouldn't have Dark Pacts there.
No.
So I wouldn't be able to use my other one either, right?
No.
Okay, so there's a little bit of a drawback then.
Yes.
But they're very powerful units and you might want to include them anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. And needless to say, you can't join those units unless your character says that you can join them. So you may not be able to have a Chaos Lord join a Khorne Berserker unit.
Okay.
And there is a further restriction. So based it on the point size of the game, you're limited to how much of those units you can take. So if you were playing a Strike Force mission, which is traditionally 2,000 points, then you can only take up to 500 points of the Lost and the Damned.
Right, so I think we cut this video right now and we just start talking about World Eaters because that's just too much. You can't. All right, we'll move on swiftly.
We'll put 500 points of Khorne Berserkers in. straight away.
Okay, so that's the detachment rule. I like it. So you can still have a bit of flavour, but obviously, there are some limitations.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, let's move on to the next part.
Okay.
So, Michael, what is the detachment rule that you can take as a Chaos Space Marine player?
Okay, so as a Chaos Space Marine player, you can opt for your units to have marks of chaos.
Okay.
They can dedicate themselves to the gods, or they can simply worship all of the gods as equals.
Right. Okay. So, and that's the
Chaos Undivided.
Chaos Undivided. So you've got 5 options then.
That's right.
So Nurgle, Slaanesh, Khorne, Tzeentch, and then Undivided.
That's right.
Got it. Okay. And what do these do? What would be a benefit of having the Slaanesh keyword or the Slaanesh god rather than a Khorne one, for example?
Right. So what these do, they tie into the army rule, which is the Dark Pacts.
Okay.
Now, if you're Khorne, whenever your unit is selected to gain lethal hits because of a Dark Pact, then you'll get critical hits on unmodified hit rolls of 5s.
Sorry, what? So Khorne, when they are selected to fight, in combat or shooting as well?
This is just combat.
Just combat?
Yeah.
Every time I roll a 5, I get lethal hits.
That's right.
That's powerful.
That's really good.
That's very powerful, yeah.
It's really good.
Yes, okay, I like that a lot.
So let's talk about the next combat-only one, which is Slaanesh.
Another one of my favourites. Yeah.
Now, this one is each time you gain sustained hits 1 from Dark Pact, you get critical hits on hit rolls of 5.
And this is in combat as well?
Yep, just combat.
So every 5 is a sustained hit, and a 6 is a sustained hit.
That's right, yeah.
Ooh, okay, like this. All right, so what do I get for being Nurgle?
For being Nurgle, you get in the shooting phase, if your unit gains sustained hits 1 from a Dark Pact, you get critical hit rolls of 5+ for that unit.
Right, okay, cool. Insert Death Guard players now salty about this something in some way or another. They'd probably compare it. You know you're doing it. I got you. Right, Tzeentch.
Tzeentch, very simple. So if they gain lethal hits in the shooting phase from Dark Pact, they get critical hits on 5s.
Okay, so you've got 2 combat ones, 2 shooty ones.
That's right.
Both of them trigger on 5s for sustained.
Exactly.
And the other ones do, so you've got Tzeentch and Khorne are the opposites. Yeah. Both deal with lethal.
Yeah, exactly that.
Right, okay, and then you got your Nurgle and Slaanesh being the opposites for sustained shooting or fighting. Got it.
Exactly.
Right, what about the Chaos Undivided?
Chaos Undivided allows your unit to reroll 1s for their hit rolls all the time.
Okay.
So it's not a bad payoff.
That's not bad.
When you're looking at, maybe some of your vehicles.
Yeah.
It's not bad. But it gets very spicy when we start looking at the enhancements and stratagems as well.
All right. Let's have a look at that next then.
All right.
But before we continue, I'd like to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, The Outpost. If you're looking for great deals on your miniatures, paints and gaming supplies, we've got you covered. Their wide variety of exceptional service makes them the go-to destination for all hobby needs. So don't wait, check out The Outpost today. Link in the description below. So Michael, talk me through the enhancements. Now, for all you at home, remember that with enhancements, there are 4 to choose from, but you can only take 3 in your army, and they are pointed upgrades. So you have to pay the points for them, along with not being able to put an enhancement on an epic hero, okay? And you can only put 1 enhancement on 1 character.
Yep.
So what's the first one we're looking at?
Oddly enough, there's actually 5 with the Chaos Space Marines.
Of course there is.
Because there's each of the gods and then Undivided.
Cool.
But the first one is the Talisman of Burning Blood.
Right.
All right, now this is for Khorne only, so Khorne model only.
Okay.
So you add 1 to the attacks and strength characteristics of the bearer's melee weapons.
That's all right.
It's not bad.
Okay.
If they're under the effects of a pact,
you
add D3 to the attacks and strength characteristics instead.
Now that's spicy.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty good.
Pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
All right.
Straight away, my mind's gone somewhere. There's a data sheet I know of, and I think, that'd be perfect on that character. Cool. We'll come back to this one. Go on, keep going. What's the next one?
The next one is the Eye of Tzeentch.
Okay.
Unsurprisingly, Tzeentch only.
Yeah.
Each time the bearer's unit makes a Dark Pact, you make a leadership test, which works the same way as Battle Shock, so it's still just 2 dice and basically
equal to or more.
You gain a CP.
Well, that's just an auto-include.
Yes.
You just take that.
You take that.
So, Michael, what is the next enhancement we're going to take a look at?
The Orb of Unlife.
Okay.
This is for Nurgle only.
Thought it might have been.
Okay. At the end of the fight phase, you're going to roll a dice for each enemy unit within 6 inches of your model.
Right.
And on a 4+, they're going to take D3 mortal wounds.
That's quite good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's quite good, that one.
And you add 1 to the roll if your unit made a dark pact that turn.
I could see this working really well on like maybe a character with a really big base that could potentially fly.
Yeah.
Like a winged demon prince.
Yeah, potentially.
That could work really well on that sort of character.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool, nice. All right, just load of splash mortal wounds.
Yeah.
So, Michael, what's the next enhancement we're going to be looking at?
The intoxicating elixir.
Slaanesh.
Slaanesh, you are correct, Steve. Yes. So Slaanesh model only. The bearer gains the Feel No Pain 5+ ability.
Okay, so only on the bearer.
Only the bearer.
So that's only really useful if your opponent has precision.
Yeah.
Because then that's the only time you're really going to take any wounds.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, when your unit's dead, you're probably dead.
Yeah.
On like a Chaos Lord or something.
Yeah.
What about on like a Demon Prince?
Yeah, good on a Demon Prince.
A lot more wounds
to make use of it.
Tougher anyway,
Yeah.
and you're just going to add in an extra 30 because that model is trying to survive by itself regardless. Adding in like an extra 33% survivability.
Yeah, it's good.
As long as you can roll 5s and 6s.
It's good.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the other part to it is if your unit made a Dark Pact,
Okay.
then you can choose one of the enemy units that you hit with any of your attacks, and they have to take a battle shock test. So if you are putting on a Demon Prince, make sure you've got some kind of ranged ability on there.
So what's next, Michael?
Next is the Liber Hereticus. This is for Chaos Undivided.
Okay.
And this basically means that when you do a Dark Pact, you gain both effects. You gain lethal hits and sustained hits 1 instead of just one of those effects.
That's pretty nice.
It's pretty cool. And this is definitely one you stick on a character leading a unit.
Yeah, because then that would affect like a big brick of chosen possess maybe. I don't know. You're going to be the expert when it comes to the units, but I can imagine a big unit like that, loads of different effects going on.
Yeah.
But you have to be undivided, right?
That's right.
Okay.
You have to be Chaos Undivided.
Okay, cool. All right then.
Yeah.
Maybe. Okay. Well, look, we'll wait to hear your thoughts on
the stratagems of the spice.
All right.
Once we've talked about the stratagems, everything pieces together.
Well, let's
and
cover
you
them
know
strats.
how you're going to do it.
Let's cover those strats. So, Michael, what is the first stratagem we're going to be taking a look at?
The first one is Infernal Rites.
Okay.
And it comes in at hefty 2 command point cost.
Ooh, I'm expecting good things from this one.
What it does is it decreases, so whenever you one of your Heretic Astartes units is targeted, you can decrease the AP characteristic, the armor penetration characteristic, of those incoming attacks by 1.
Like a Armor of Contempt.
Exactly like the Space Marines Armor of Contempt.
Yes. They have it for 1 CP.
Look, let's not talk about that, okay?
Insert Chaos Space Marine Salt here.
Yes. Don't worry, I've already created a pile of salt about that stratagem.
Okay.
However,
very powerful
all round. If you have been here in previous editions, you'll notice that the AP of a lot of weapons has reduced, and therefore the value of this stratagem has increased.
Nice, yeah.
Great. Obviously on 2+ armor saves.
Yep.
Even on 3+s, but just be careful about the interactions with benefits of cover.
Yes.
Because someone with an AP1 weapon shooting at someone with a 3+ armor save that is in cover
wouldn't be any difference.
Wouldn't be any difference if you use the stratagem.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the first stratagem.
Okay. Nice. What's the next one?
The next one is Profane Zeal.
All right.
This one's probably one of my favourites.
What does it do?
It allows your Heretic Astartes unit.
Yeah.
And you can use it in any phase.
Okay.
Shooting or fight phase. And you can re-roll your hit rolls of 1, and wound rolls of 1.
That's pretty good. Like a captain and lieutenant old school ability on a unit.
Yeah.
I like it.
However, if you're Chaos Undivided,
yes,
you can re-roll any of your hit rolls and any of your wound rolls.
Sorry, you what?
For 1 command point.
Well, hang on a minute.
Yes.
You get the Space Marine Oath of Moment on a unit for 1 CP?
Yes.
Right. Insert Space Marine Salt right here.
Yeah.
That is powerful.
Yeah. You see, so we looked at the marks, and Chaos Undivided may not have jumped out as the most powerful one, right? Because it's just reroll 1s to hit.
Whoa. And you've got that enhancement.
Right. So now we've got the enhancement. Okay, and now we've got this stratagem, and suddenly we're looking at something very, very powerful.
This is absolute spice.
This is spice.
This is like Nando super hot spice.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe we should have like a Nando spice scale. Yeah, extra hot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Wait, you'll like this next one.
We'll swap the logo for a chili, and we'll just point to the spice rating. Okay.
Well, we could use the VT logo just as the spice bar.
Okay. Yeah, that's the top. Go on, what's next?
Next is Eternal Hate.
Yeah.
Okay, and what this allows you to do is for 1 command point in the fight phase, Each time a model in your unit is slain, before removing them from the board, they can fight on a 4+.
So a fight on death on a 4+.
That's right, and of course you fight after the opponent's units finished all of their attacks.
Of course, yeah.
And of course, if you have the Khorne keyword,
yeah,
you get +1 to the roll.
So they fight on death on 3s?
Yeah.
So would that be true then for like Khorne Berserkers?
Yes, because they have the keyword.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's probably the only synergy, really, between the army's sort of rules, detachment rules, and stratagems that would work on one of the Lost and the Damned.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, because even knowing your opponent has a fight on death, even if it is on a 4-up or a 3-up, it's still like, as a combat player, like, yeah, but they could just roll all 4s.
Yeah.
Like, although it is technically 50-50, it's not in your head.
No, it's not.
You know, that's
You have
not,
to account for it.
You do. You have to account for that spike, and that can be really scary as a combat player. Let's say I'm playing like my beautiful, you know, striking scorpions. Few of those fight on death, and I've lost my whole unit as well.
Yeah.
So that's powerful.
It is powerful.
Yeah.
It does need to be said
that
when your unit does fight on death, you're not selecting that unit to fight, and therefore you can't enact a dark pact.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so that's the sort of balancer. So don't go fighting on death and doing a dark pact.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's not how it works.
No. Okay. What's next? With the release of Warhammer 40,000 10th edition, at Vanguard Tactics, we've put together the perfect course for you. If you're already playing 9th edition, but you want to seamlessly transition into the new edition, leave behind everything you know about 9th and understand everything you need to know about 10th, then this short course is going to be ideal. We break down all the complexities and give you step-by-step guidance on how to really make the most from 10th edition. We're going to help you understand all the basics of the game and then some top tips along the way to help you really get the most from your army and your playing experience. And if that's something you want to do and get signed up on our short course, which you can study in your own time, then do check out the links below and get signed up to our accelerator program. So what's next, Michael?
Next is skin shift.
Right.
Okay. This is one command point. All right, and you do it in your command phase, and then you choose one of your models.
Yeah.
And it heals up to 3 wounds back.
Okay, one of your models.
One of your models.
Right. Any restrictions on this?
No.
Any model?
Just a model.
D3 wounds back.
Just flat up to 3.
Oh, up to 3.
Up to 3 wounds back.
Oh, cool. That's good.
Yeah.
Like if you've got like a vehicle that's bracketed, and you just want to, and what we mean by that is like damage when it's like -1 to hit sort of status.
Yes, exactly.
Just bump it up a smidge.
Yeah.
Just to take it over that threshold.
Yeah.
Or maybe stick this on a vehicle unit and stop it taking a battle shock check.
Yeah. It's great for that.
That's
I like
good.
it. Yeah.
Because then remember the battle shock check happens, when do you use this in the command
phase? Yeah.
Start off.
Just in your command phase.
So you could use this before you take battle shock.
Yeah.
Get yourself over the battle shock mark, and then you don't need to take battle shock and not worry about it.
Yeah, exactly that.
Because if you had like a vehicle on your back foot objective and you thought, if I fail battle shock check here and I've got maybe another unit that you need to use the strat on, love it. Great strat.
It's a good
situational, but great.
It gets better if you're Tzeentch.
Right.
So if you're Tzeentch, you can return a model to the unit that has been destroyed already.
Well, that's good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Right? Especially if you've got something like a unit of Terminators. I mean, most of the units in the Space Marine book, the Chaos Space Marine book, are pretty potent. Like, they're chunky boys. So bringing one back is powerful. And as you said, you could use that to mitigate battle shock as well.
And if you've got that in the same unit with that character that's giving a CP a turn, it's basically free.
Yeah, which you absolutely would.
Sure. Sounds great. Yeah. What's next?
So, next is unnatural swiftness.
Yeah.
All right. Now, this allows one of your units to fall back and still shoot and charge. One command point.
Let me guess. This has got a bit of a Slaanesh vibe to it?
It does have a bit of a Slaanesh vibe to it. Okay.
Yeah.
If you're Slaanesh, you're eligible to shoot and charge in a turn in which you've advanced in addition.
So you can fall back and shoot and charge?
Yeah, for anyone.
Right. And then if you are Slaanesh, you can do that as well as advancing and charging.
Yes, but you can't fall back and advance in the same turn.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, but yes.
Sick.
That's pretty good. You know, any of you, like maybe your Chaos Space Marine bikes.
I think I'm giving that like a hot rating.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. The last one is Dark Obscuration.
Right.
Now this one, you choose one of your units when it's targeted by a shooting attack, and it gains the Stealth special rule.
Okay, so -1 to hit.
Yeah, -1 to hit. That's nice. If you're Nurgle, then that unit is no longer an eligible target until the end of the phase unless the unit shooting at it is within 12 inches.
Okay, so this would still work on like Plague Marines?
Yes.
If you were to put them in?
Exactly, yeah.
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 Okay, so there are some synergies here.
There are.
Like you could, I suppose, bring a rubric ring back with the last, the other one we spoke about.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I like it. I mean, not being eligible to be selected as a target on, let's say, a unit of these guys, maybe?
Havocs are pretty good for it.
Sat at the backfield, waving like, sorry lads, you can't shoot us.
Remember that Nurgle units can have that potential sustained hits on 5s in the shooting phase. Yes. So it pairs really well with some of your ranged units. So that's definitely one of the combos is Nurgle ranged units on the battlefield because they're strong.
You want them sat at the back, 12 away.
Yeah, just shooting away.
Just free to shoot as much as they want.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Great.
Well, shall we look at some data sheets?
Let's do that.
So I know I've got sort of a tactical view with a few units I've picked out, but I know you really, really wanted to cover some of the named characters. Yeah. And your sort of hot picks for some of these characters.
Well, I just want to touch on maybe like why I like them.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is at your discretion whether you would include them. I don't know if there's synergies and combinations, but I'm going to just look at some of the epic heroes. So remember, there's a lot of restrictions here. They're epic heroes that can't take enhancements. Some of them already have a mark, some of them don't. So you can't really customize very much here.
However,
go on.
It's very important to say this now.
Yep.
There are no legions or chapters in the Chaos Space Marine Index. In the Space Marine one, if you take someone like Raboot Gilliman, you can't then take Vulcan.
Yes.
Right. However, in the Chaos Space Marines,
we're all friends.
They're all friends. They're definitely not in the fluff, but they're all friends. So you can have a Baden, you can have Lucius, you can have anyone you want.
All right, don't ruin it. I'm going to come to them.
Well, they're like some of the only named characters in the book.
Well, whatever.
Anyway, who are you talking about first?
Well, I think we start off with the main man.
Okay.
Abaddon or Abaddon? Comment below which way you say it, because I know somebody will. Right, okay, so Abaddon.
What does he do for us?
The Despoiler. Well, he has devastating wounds on his attack, so he's pretty gnarly in combat.
Not surprised.
You know, he's like 8 attacks, hitting on 2, strength 14, -4, flat 3 damage.
Cool.
You roll some 6s and you're doing the work.
Yeah, he kills stuff.
Okay. He has all the keywords, Slanesh, Nurgle, you name it. He's also infantry.
Nice.
Okay, so that makes him a little bit better there. He's also got undivided, so you can get him re-rolling his hit wounds, his hit and his wound rolls.
Yeah, very nice.
Oh, that's disgusting actually when you think about it like that, isn't it?
Yeah. I have to ask, can he join a unit?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
He can join Terminators and Legionaries.
That's an interesting size difference.
That's very strange, the second part of that. But anyway, he can deep strike. In your command phase, you get basically a War Master ability.
Okay.
All right, and each time the model makes a dark pack and does not fail the resulting leadership, you gain a CP on a 2+.
That's good. That's really good.
Yeah. I mean, that alone is maybe a reason to include him, is just to have a free CP.
He's strong.
So he's got an aura. Wow. Friendly Heretic Astartes units within 6, you reroll the hit roll aura.
That's pretty cool.
We don't see many auras in the game.
We don't, no. And is that one of the 3 he picks?
It's one of the 3 he picks.
Okay.
He's got another aura. Infantry or mounted units within 6 have a 4+ invulnerable save.
That's also very, very good.
And then can re-roll leadership and battle shock checks, aura as well. So that's good for your dark pack synergy.
Yeah.
Abaddon, you're a beast. He's going in my list.
He's pretty beastly.
He's in.
Yeah.
I love that.
I like that. What I do like about the Legions thing is that a lot of people have made conversions out of Abaddon.
Yeah.
With the same size base and everything. They can now use them in their own Legion army. So definitely want to look out for Abaddon.
I think he's great. And, he's got, like 9 wounds, 2 up save, 4 up invulner. He's pretty tanky by himself, but he doesn't have that annoying wound cap stuff going on.
Yeah.
But he's a force multiplier.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Agreed.
Absolutely incredible. Okay, I want to have a little talk about Huron, the Black Heart. Okay, what I really like about him, basically, Red Corsairs rule here. After you've deployed your armies, you can select up to 3 infantry units.
Okay.
I would have liked that to say infantry and bikers, but anyway.
Yeah, a bit strange for Red Corsairs, but...
Yeah, because they love their bikes.
Yeah.
Astartes infantry, you can redeploy them or put them into strategic reserves.
That's very nice. A redeploy is always good.
Yeah, and once per battle, when you can do some you can basically make a normal move if your opponent gets too close.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
And it gives you +1 OC. So he's not bad.
Very tactical character.
Yeah. He's undivided, chosen, or legionaries he can join. But I just like it for that redeploy. Depending on his points values, the redeploy might be worth it.
Yeah. Cool.
Right, okay. Next up, we've got Lucius the Eternal. Love this guy.
Yeah, I know.
As you know, if you're a fan of the channel, you know I like my Emperor's Children. And Lucius gives the unit fight first.
Very strong.
So you cannot charge this unit that he is leading because they will fight before you.
Very strong.
Yeah? Remember that. You always fight with the defending player or the non-active player.
Yes.
So you always pick the first unit. This guy's rocking an 8 attack profile, hitting on 2, strength 5, -2 damage.
That's good.
And you told me about some sort of like sustained hits in combat being Slaanesh.
Yes.
So I'm getting sustained hits
on 5s.
On
you take
5s.
a Dark Pact. Yeah. That's good. Yeah.
Pretty spice. He's got precision as well.
Oh dear.
So he can just go in, nuke the character that's buffing the unit, and then let all the legionaries.
Pretty.
Legionaries
spicy.
or noise marines kind of just
do what they want.
And to know if he's your warlord, noise marines have the battle line keyword. So if you want to take loads of noise marines, there's a little bit of that there as well.
It's the first time we've seen an ability like that so far, I think. That's really interesting.
I really like that. It helps you take a bit more of a thematic army.
Yeah.
And I really hope that's the type of rule that we see more often.
Yes. And what that means, to clarify, is that you can take up to 6 of that data sheet rather than just 3.
We've seen it in things like Age of Sigmar, and I really like that, where it allows you to customize your army a little bit different, to have a little bit more of those types of units.
Yeah.
Love it.
All right, cool.
So Lucius, the fight first keyword alone, along with having a great attack profile, he's brilliant.
Yeah, he's pretty gnarly.
Yeah. Okay, next up is Fabius Bile.
Okay.
Okay, he is Chaos Undivided. Used to be Slaanesh, though, back in the day. Okay, so he's obviously left those days behind him. Now, in terms of combat, he's all right, but you're not really taking him for that.
No.
What you're really taking him for, he's got his own built-in 5+ Feel No Pain, but he gives +1 strength and toughness to his bodyguard unit.
Okay. Yep. Who can he lead?
He can lead legionaries or chosen.
Okay, very nice.
Probably put him in a unit of chosen, me.
Probably, yeah.
Because they'd have to have undivided. Then I could remold my hits and stuff like that with the stratagem.
Absolutely.
I like that a lot, yeah. And then we've also got, once per turn, when an attack is allocated to Fabius Bile's unit, you can change the damage to 0.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I could have put a big las cannon into your... Oh, wow. Just had a thought.
Yeah.
Change the damage characteristic to 0. So, if somebody's got like a really powerful, devastating wound attack, and they hit you with it, you could go, 0.
Cool.
That
sounds good.
That's actually better than I thought.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Like it.
And then basically, he can stand back up on a 2+.
Cool.
So +1 strength, +1 toughness, all the rerolls, and ignoring some damage. Why not?
Yeah.
And he's a beautiful model. And then finally, the last little character I want to talk about is the Exalted Champion.
Okay.
What I love about him is he gives you +1 to the hit roll. Okay, he's got an okay.
Just all the time?
To the unit.
Very nice.
While he's leading a unit.
Very nice.
Okay, each time this model makes a Dark Pact until the end of a phase, add D3 to the characteristics of the strength.
Cool.
Now, wasn't there like a weapon that also gave you D3 if you recall?
Yeah, the talisman.
So you could actually have this guy at strength 5 with plus 2d3 strength.
Yeah.
AP 2 damage. Yeah. And I would have +1 attack as well.
Oh, you'd have D3 plus D3 attacks.
So I could have 5 attacks base, plus D3 attacks, and then strength 5 with plus 2d3 strength.
Yeah.
This guy's a monster.
That's pretty cool.
And he can join any other character unit.
Okay, so you can join a unit, even though there's one other character joined to it.
And you can go with chosen or legionaries.
Cool. All right.
I mean, that's cool.
I mean, those units are pretty good on their own, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could chuck him in for a little bit of spice.
Yeah, and important to note, he can join any of the main characters if they're in a unit.
Exactly. So any of those effects you quite like the sound of, have a few more +1 to hits on those units.
Yeah. All right.
Love it. That's really cool.
It is. Yeah,
anyway, so they're my top takes. Which one's your fave out of those?
Out of those lot, I mean, Abaddon's very strong. Yeah. But I think tactically, I quite like Huron.
Ooh,
I like manipulating OC in 10th edition, and the redeploy is very good as well.
Yeah. I can't decide if I prefer Fabius Bar or Lucius the Eternal.
Lucius is
or a Khorne-based
cool.
exalted champion.
Also very, very cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Anyway, so Michael, let's talk about your combos. That's what we're here for.
All right. Okay, so the first thing, if you're new to Chaos Space Marines, then you're going to need a Lord of some kind. That's a Chaos Lord or a Terminator Lord, because they have a fantastic rule, which is called Lord of Chaos. Now, once per battle round, you can use a stratagem on their unit for 0 CP, 0 command points, even if that stratagem's been used on someone else that phase.
Very good.
Very good. Now, we've already mentioned things like being able to reroll all of your hits if you're undivided. You can now do this on 2 units. If
Fart and Death on 2 units.
Exactly. So very, very strong ability, and you're going to want a Lord in the unit.
Definitely.
In your army,
at
least.
You want to start bringing 2 models back a turn with Tzeentch. You've got all the options here.
Yeah, you got all the options.
Who can a Chaos Lord join?
So this guy's the one on foot, the one I have in front of me. So this is just chosen Legionaries.
Okay.
Of course, the Terminator, Chaos Lord can join Terminators.
Cool.
All right.
Nice.
So definitely pack a Chaos Lord in there.
Just for the CP manipulation.
Just for the CP.
Yeah.
There are a couple of different sorcerers. There's one on foot on the Terminator. I like the Terminator. Obviously, you can only join Chaos Terminators.
Yeah.
But it has a really cool psychic ability. At the start of your shooting phase, one psychic unit with this ability can use it. Okay, so it just prevents you from stacking all of these. You select an enemy unit within 12 inches and visible. On a 1, you take D3 mortal wounds.
Okay.
On a 2+, until the start of your next movement phase, each time an attack targets that enemy unit, improve the AP characteristic by 1.
Ooh.
Okay.
AP +1 on a unit.
For an entire, essentially, battle round.
Wow.
That's really strong.
And no matter what mark your army has, it's just extra AP if this guy gets within 12.
Yeah.
So he can deep strike down, go, hey, dude, over there, have some extra AP on you, and then go, right, shoot.
Yep. Yeah, it's great. And he's also got reroll advance and charge rolls made for his unit as well.
And this is the guy that you could chuck on with the extra CP because he's a Tzeentch
That's who you probably would throw that on him, yeah. And you'd have him with a unit of Terminators that are also Tzeentch. That way you could bring back a Terminator if you wanted to with the stratagem.
I think that's strong.
That's probably the best unit for him to join. Next, we have the Master of Possession.
Yep.
No surprises here. This is one of the only characters that can actually join Possessed.
Okay.
And we're going to touch on those in a second because they are spicy.
Right.
All right. So the Master of Possession can also join Chosen and Legionaries.
Right.
Gives them a psychic buff of a 6+, so Feel No Pain 6+.
Okay.
Okay. And also +1 to advance and charge rolls.
Great.
And then has a sacrificial dagger. So once per phase, when he's selected to shoot or fight, you can deal a mortal wound to his unit.
Sure.
And then each time this model makes a psychic attack, you add 1 to the hit roll and wound roll.
Right.
Okay, so let's talk about his psychic attacks because they're pretty cool. First of all, the thing to note is they've got precision.
Okay.
And anti-psyker 2+.
So he's good at killing other psychers.
He's good at sniping other psychic characters. Now, the focused one is 2 shots at 18 inches.
Yeah.
3+ to hit, strength 6, AP 3, flat 3 damage.
So you could stick on your little dagger in your leg.
Yeah.
Or in your mate.
In your mate, yeah.
Take a mortal wound, and +1 hit, +1 wound.
Yeah, with this weapon. And AP 3 damage 3 against an enemy character, that's pretty scary.
Yeah.
However, it's all about the unit you can join.
Right.
Which is the Mighty Possessed.
Okay.
These guys are scary.
Can they have a mark?
They can have a mark, yeah. So any of your units can have a mark.
Okay.
Right. Any of your units can have a mark.
That's changed from 9th edition, right?
That has changed, yes. So
Jeez.
These guys, you're probably going to give the Chaos Undivided, but you can go several routes with it.
Of course.
Okay, so you could do Slanesh if you, but obviously you're going to pick a combat one because they don't have a shooting attack.
Yeah.
So the 9-inch move.
Yeah.
So pretty rapid. Toughness 6 makes them pretty hard to kill, and 3 wounds each. They've got hideous mutations, which is 4 attacks each.
Yeah.
Hitting on 3s, strength 5, -1, 2 damage.
Okay.
So
it's all right.
It's all right. Now, if they do a Dark Pact, they gain the Devastating Wounds ability.
Oh, here we go. So that's why you go Undivided, so you reroll all those wounds. Right, extra spice.
Yeah, extra spice, we're getting up there. And because they can take an icon, which several units can, they can reroll their leadership test after doing the Dark Pact.
Okay.
And you can have up to 10 in the unit.
Nice.
So Possessed.
That's very good.
I'd recommend 1 unit.
10, straight in the basket.
10, yeah.
I'm not sure if I'm sold on the Master of Possession with the unit.
Yeah, so I think the defensive Feel No Pain 6+ just carries that unit alive a little bit longer.
I forgot about that bit.
You could you take him and leave him.
It does give you an opportunity to stick an enhancement though on that unit, and that's the way you would get an enhancement onto that unit.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool.
Okay, well, next let's talk about the Mighty Chosen.
Right.
These guys are tough, obviously. They've got 3 wounds each.
That's good.
One more than Legionaries. They have a cool ability, Chosen Marauders.
Yeah.
So they're eligible to shoot and charge in a turn in which they advanced.
Right. Wow.
Or fell back.
So they're basically Slanesh in terms of that strat all the time.
Yeah.
Whew, that's spicy.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Now, my choice for these would be Khorne. I like the idea of Khorne on these guys because a lot of their attacks are mainly strength 5. Reasonably good AP, but only 1 damage.
Okay, so get them that lethal, which is 5.
Lethal, exactly. You can have a couple of power fists in there as well, but lethal hit's really good for Chosen.
Yeah.
So Legionaries is next. Now these obviously they've got all of the weapons under the sun you can give Legionaries. They do have heavy melee weapons, which come in at strength 8 -2, 2 damage.
Okay.
So that's quite nice. And you can have 2 guys with this. Okay. But their main rule is Veterans of the Long War.
Yeah.
They can reroll wound rolls of 1.
Nice.
And if the target's on an objective marker, you can reroll all wound rolls against that target.
That's really good. We've seen that a few times before, but it's very strong.
Cool. Which obviously means you probably don't need to be Chaos Undivided with that unit, because if you're shooting people on an objective,
you've got it anyway.
You've got it anyway.
Yeah.
Great.
So to recap then, Possessed, Undivided.
Yes.
Yeah, if I'm like my makeshift army here. Possessed, Undivided. Chosen, Khorne. Legionaries, whatever mark you want.
Whatever you want. Slanesh is pretty good.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, and then Terminators, probably Tzeentch.
Sure, because you can start bringing them back.
Put that guy in there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Okay, Terminators, so not much to say on these. Each time they do a Dark Pact, they can reroll hits.
Yeah, 5+ invulnerable save though.
I didn't want to talk about that, Steve, but you forced it. I'm sorry.
Insert salt here.
They've got a 5+ invulnerable save. I have nothing more to say.
Cool.
on that front. However, don't feel too embittered. You do have a 2+ armor save, which will carry you to a 4-up armor save after AP most of the time anyway.
Yeah, and if you had a Chaos Lord in the unit, you could just go, cool, I'll just have a bit of armor contempt for free, thanks.
Infernal Rights. Actually.
Sorry, whatever.
Infernal Rights?
Yeah, you name it.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. And then I think it's very important to talk about some classic units. So I've picked a couple. I've got the Predator Destructor, which is the one with the autocannon. The autocannon's 4 shots at strength 9, AP 1, flat 3 damage.
Yeah.
And it's that flat 3 that's really nice.
Yes.
Each time this guy shoots infantry, you increase the AP characteristic of their attacks by 1.
So it's AP 1 at the moment.
AP 1 at the moment.
So it goes to AP 2.
Goes to AP 2.
And a bit of Tzeentch Spice.
Tzeentch guy, well, your Terminator Sorcerer goes in. AP 3, flat damage 3, and you make this guy Nurgle.
Yeah.
So that he gets sustained hits with a Dark Pact on 5s to hit.
That's spicy.
That's really good.
Yeah.
And the heavy bolters, which you probably take on the sides, have sustained 1 anyway. So getting sustained hits on 5s for them too is very, very strong. And
what you have is Abaddon at the back with 3 of these.
Yeah.
And they re-roll all their hit rolls.
Yeah, cool. And if your opponent wants to shoot one, it's Nurgle. So you can play Dark Obscuration and they can't shoot it.
No, you can't shoot me.
And they have to shoot a different one.
So you've only got 1 here though.
I've got 1 here.
I think you need 2 more.
Probably could do with another one.
Yes.
At least.
Like it.
Right. Next one, the Mighty Chaos Land Raider.
Yeah.
This one's ability is the same for all Land Raiders in the game. You can disembark and charge after this model has moved. Capacity of 12.
Yeah.
Possessed Terminators take up 2 slots each.
Okay.
Can't have jump packs or obliterators in there. But
Chosen a fair game.
Chosen a fair game, and remember that even if you had to get out at the start of your turn, you could advance and charge. But yeah, Chosen, I think, are great in a Land Raider.
Yeah.
With a Dark Apostle who gives them +1 to wound in combat.
Ooh.
Which is quite a nice little combo as well.
Cool. Yeah.
And then I wanted to talk about like a really cool little combo. I love Battle Shock in 10th edition. It's one of my favourite mechanics in the game. So I want to talk about another named character, Harken World Claimer.
Yeah.
Okay,
Does he claim worlds?
He does claim worlds. So while he's leading a unit, each time this model's unit ends a charge move, you select 1 enemy unit in engagement range and roll a dice for each model in this guy's unit.
Yeah.
On a 4+, the enemy unit suffers a mortal wound.
Ooh, that's good.
So you have him with a unit of Raptors, you go in and you roll 11 dice, and you should do about 5 mortal wounds to the enemy.
So it's similar to the Assault Marine.
Yes, yes. Yes, exactly that.
Like the old school Hammer of Wrath.
Exactly. And then he's got another ability, which is an aura.
Yeah.
So when an enemy unit is within 6 inches of this model, in the battle shock step of your opponent's command phase, they have to take a battle shock if they're under starting strength.
Okay.
Not just below half strength.
Kill a guy, take a battle shock check.
Cool.
Nice.
Well, that's good because the Raptors have an ability, an aura of 6 inches of -1 to any battle shocks and leadership tests.
Can he join them?
He joins Raptors.
He can join Raptors?
He joins Raptors.
Oh, it's Warp Talons.
I think you're getting excited about Warp Talons. He can't join Warp Talons. I'm sorry, everybody. They do their own thing, but they are part of this combo because they've got some fancy stuff going on. In addition, Raptors, at the start of the fight phase, each enemy unit with an engagement range of 1 or more units with this ability takes a battle shock. So you send these and Harken into 1, 2, how many units you want, force a battle shock test at -1 for all of them. And then in their command phase, provided you killed at least 1 model from any of those squads, they're going to have to take another battle shock test at -1. And then to top it all off, we've got the Warp Talons that we love. And these guys, each time you try and fall back from them, you have to take a desperate escape test.
Okay.
So on a 1 or a 2, the model dies. If you're battle shocked, then it's a 1, 2, or 3.
Could lose half your squad.
You could lose half your squad just falling back normally.
That's great.
From these guys.
Love that.
So yeah, we're getting the spice up. With these jump pack units. So yeah, be very excited. A lot of the classic units
are back.
Yeah. You know, your Raptors, your Predators. Like, how insane does that sound?
Do you know what? This is one of my... Hearing all this actually makes me really excited to play some Chaos Space Marines.
Oh, good.
I think I really see the synergies. I see the nice, like, oh, take a bit of that with a bit of this. Like, there's a real element there for creativity in the list construction phase. So if you're a Chaos Space Marine, I think you're going to be very, very happy. Sorry, if you're a Chaos Space Marine player, you're going to be very happy.
And
of course,
Space Marine.
They're always happy. Or angry. Happy, angry, who's to know? Michael, I think it's a fantastic review.
Well, thank you.
I think we've covered some really great units, and hopefully you at home, you've seen those synergies now, and you can start putting those into, your plans of your armies. Let us know in the comments below which is your favourite combination, and I want to know what epic hero you would take. So you're going for?
Well, obviously Harken.
He's
I included in my lineup.
Right.
I love jump pack Chaos Space Marines. Even though you World Eaters don't get them. I love Harken, so he's my pick.
Right. I'm going to go for my boy Lucius.
Fair enough.
The Master Swordsman.
Fair enough. He does seem very, very scary.
Yes. No, absolutely. So anyway, there we have it. And a massive thank you to Games Workshop for sending us a preview copy. Let us know what epic hero you're going to take and join us on some more how to plays and some more epic 10th edition battle reports. See you in the next video.